Hello everybody. In this video we're going to repeat the Style Panel Quickstart example from the user documentation. What we see before us is Manifold Future, and this is a drawing. There's only one drawing in the project. I've undocked the window there. And let's create some points in the drawing. I'll click on the points using the Create Point tool. And now let's undock the contents, switch to the contents pane. Style. Let's undock the contents pane so this looks more like what we see in the user manual example. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to change the size of these points. We're going to change them to, here's the size, we're going to change that to 20 points in size, and as you can see the points get larger. Great, that's spectacular. Now let's change the color. We're going to change the color to a blue color using that move right there. Actually, let's change it to a slightly softer blue. That's better. What we're looking at here in the style panel are the areas up here, style characteristics for areas, then style properties for lines, and style properties for points. There's color or foreground color, background color or fill color, the symbology for the area, line, or point, the size for lines or points, and the rotation factor for points. So let's change the color for points to that color right there. Terrific. Now let's do some thematic formatting, and we're going to do thematic formatting, which is the process of varying a symbol based on, or a color based on the contents of a field. And what we're going to do is we're going to vary the symbology of the points, and we're going to use a font to do that with. So we're going to right-click here, or click here rather. You can see there's the left side and the right side of the button. If I click on the left side of the button, I get a menu like this. It's kind of a fixed menu. If I click on this menu, this side right here, I can control it by a field. And let's start by controlling it by a field. So it pulls up this field right there. For lack of anything better, we'll use the MFDID field, which is a built-in field in every drawing that has absolutely no meaning other than it's a numeric field that is part of every drawing that we can use. And let's set this to well, equal intervals is fine, and let's start choosing symbols. I'll double-click on the symbol here and choose Symbol in the pop-up menu. And we can use any font that we like that's installed on the machine. I'm going to use this Meteorology font, which is a free font that's been published in on many free font websites. And I'll just pick a bunch of symbols here at random. There's absolutely no meaning to these symbols. I'm just going to make sure that they're all different, so that whatever we choose is a cool symbol. And let's see, let's choose this one right here. And for the last symbol, something with sun or something with rain. How about, let's choose this one, which is rain. Great, now I'll click Update Style, and the symbols will be drawn. Now these particular symbols here use only one color. They don't use the fill color. So we don't really need this fill color. If we wanted, we could change this fill color back to some sort of gray, and it wouldn't really matter because this particular symbology that we use uses only that fill color. Okay, superb. Now all the symbols here use this one color here, the magenta color, which we previously assigned. Suppose we would like that magenta color to be to use the same thematic format as the thematic format, the assignment of intervals that we use here for the symbology. That's easy to do. I can control-click on this field, on this style property, on this button, and that will add it as a column here to the left of this column right here. If I control-click that off, it disappears. Control-click it on. Now we see the color wells as black. The easiest way to assign a palette to these is to simply choose the palette button, and I'm going to choose one of the color brewer palettes. That's the color brewer spectral palette. So I assign the palette and I click Update Style, and the style updates. So now we're using all these different variables. We're coloring all these different points depending on the variable here, and then we're using the same thematic format for the color as we're using for the symbology. I can add a third variable to that. Let's say we want to alter the size of these symbols based on that same thematic format. I can control-click this button, and that adds here another column which is the size factor. If you look at these columns here, the left column is this color here, the middle color is the symbology here, and the right column is the size. They're in the same order that they appear up here in the main part of the style panel. Now, say I find it tedious to enter all these style values at once. That's kind of an easy thing to fix. What we can do is I can choose the first one and make that 20 points, and I'll choose the second one and I'll make that 40 points. And now what I can do is here I can Control A to select all these rows here, and I can right click on them and choose Interpolate, and the values between 20 to 40 will be interpolated. And now I can click Update Style, and the point symbols in our drawing are now immediately redrawn so that all those that fit into this category here with an MFD ID value of 1 or so have these formatting characteristics. Those with 2 have these formatting characteristics, and so on. And at any point here, what we like is we can right click and we can change these the symbology using the context menu. The context menu is sensitive, so for example it knows that here we can interpolate in reverse because these are numbers, and in this column it just allows us to reverse. So if I click reverse, it will reverse the order of those point symbols. So if I update style, it'll do that. And likewise for the colors, I have a variety of choices here. I can darken them, I can lighten them, I can make them grayscale, or I can reverse them, in which case we get this effect right there. Super. Let's do one last thing. Let's right now this is a thematic format. This button here, the Symbology is the same, uses the same thematic format as these other two. Suppose I don't want it to participate in a thematic format. Suppose I just want it to be something all on its own. I can just click on this and choose Symbol and force it to use a single symbol. Let's in this case use a font. That is a letter from a font. And what I'll use is Monotype Cursiva, which is the same one that's used in the user manual example. We'll click on the R for Radian and click OK, and immediately it updates. Now as you can see, when we click on this button here, it's just highlighted, and these two buttons no longer participate in that same thematic format. If I clicked on this button here, you would see both of these two are highlighted because both of them participate in the thematic format. But this one no longer does. It's out there by itself. So that's the example that we saw that we read about in the user manual for those people who like reading the user manual. As you can see, it's way quicker to show how to do this in real time than it is to read about it step by step in the user manual. I hope you've enjoyed it. The example shows how we can use the style panel and the contents pane to format colors, to do thematic formatting, and how to use symbols for points. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Goodbye from Manifold Future Land.
Well, that was fun. If you want to see more, visit us at www.manifold.net. As always, Manifold delivers the world's most advanced, highest quality spatial products for GIS and DBMS at a low price that you can afford. Once again, that's manifold.net. See you soon.